I love the movies. I love going to a theater, sitting back, watching a film, being transported to a whole nother world. A big part of that is what the actors and actresses are wearing, their costumes. Now, you can steal some of these looks. You can be inspired by what these actors are wearing and you can incorporate it into your wardrobe. Today's video, 5 wearable movie looks. Number 1 on my list, Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr. in the Iron Man movies, in the Avenger movies. What I love about Tony Stark is this guy isn't afraid to own what he wears. One of his signature colors is red. He just loves the red, and it, of course, I've talked about this, the science behind red, how it basically is a power signal. It draws attention. He's a high contrast individual, lighter colored skin, darker colored hair, and his dark color suits do a great job of framing his face. He loves wide peak lapels. Nothing wrong with having a signature style with whatever suit. Another thing, look at those white dress shirts. He also brings in spread colors, but the white dress shirt, what that does right there is it brings up the formality of the dark colored suit. Whenever he is wearing a darker colored shirt with that, it gives a more monochromatic look, but it's not going to be as formal as the contrast we see with the white shirt. Now, what I also like about Tony Stark is he isn't afraid to actually bring in some interesting accessories. So look at his watches. Here's a man that could afford any watch on the planet, but he's bringing in fun tech watches. I know a lot of you guys are saying, stay away from those tech watches. It isn't really, those smart watches aren't really refined yet. Well, if you are wearing a suit, you've got everything else nailed and you're confident enough, you can pull off one of these watches. And while we're talking about his accessories, let's talk about neckties. He isn't afraid to wear a little bit wider of a necktie, so he's staying away from the slim necktie. Even though that would probably work with his body build, he goes with something that's just going to be loud, commanding, grabbing attention. He wears those pocket squares. He is not afraid to wear a flashy pocket square. Now let's talk about his grooming. So what do we notice about his hair? He's using a product. He's not slicking his hair back, but he definitely is going for the tousled look. It looks like he's combing it back with his hands or with a loose brush. Now, when we look at his beard, he's got the Balbo beard. He always has immaculate grooming in and around the beard, so he's getting the exact look that he wants. And speaking of grooming, guys, let me introduce you to the Dollar Shave Club. I've talked about them before. They've been a sponsor now for over a year, and I use the Dollar Shave Club. What I love is the convenience that this is delivered right to my door. So when I'm traveling, I can't take my straight razor. I can take this. This is something, you get a good product at a great price delivered right to your door. Now, guys, I'm going to pull up their website, and I want you to go check out their latest package. Right here, we've got the shower and shave starter set. It's this $5 package, and it comes with 3 trial-sized versions of their popular shave butter, body wash, and the one wipe Charlie butt wipes. You also will receive their executive razor, which includes the premium weighty handle, which I just showed you, and a full cassette of cartridges. I find that I can get through a month with these cartridges. Now, after the first box, replacement cartridges are sent to you for only a few bucks a month. This offer is available at dollarshaveclub.com/realmen. Again, that's dollarshaveclub.com/realmen. Guys, the Dollar Shave Club has been a paid sponsor for over a year because you love the products. You go over there, you use that link down below, you purchase their products, and you've told me this is a great deal. I've used the shave butter. It's a great product. The body cleanser, I love it. I can tell you this stuff is good. It's a great value. So use the link down below. Go grab yourself some. Look number 2 that you can steal is from The Great Gatsby, and it's Meyer Wolfsheim, played by Amitabh Bachchan. I know a lot of you guys thought I was going to say Leonardo DiCaprio. He had a great look. I loved his look in the movie, but I wanted to bring in one of India's top actors, and Amitabh Bachchan is killing it when it comes to style. If you go and watch The Great Gatsby, his character here was not afraid to be flamboyant, to be the best dressed man in the room, despite, a lot of people saying, oh, as you get older, you need to be more conservative. He wasn't having it. He went in there, look at this hat. Look at the outfit that he had put together here. Look at the way that that tie works with the hat. But what type of hat is that? That's a wide brim Panama hat. If you're not familiar with the Panama, you need to go check it out. It's a classic hat style, which I think works great for men in hot weather or men that have a lighter complexion. Next up, let's look over at that suit. So he's got a light gray suit with a white stripe in there, something that definitely sets him apart from the crowd. But what I like about this light colored suit is it works with his graying complexion. If you've got lighter colored hair, let's say you're 25 years old, you're a ginger, well, in that case, you're going to wear lighter colored suits when you can. Of course, certain situations are going to dictate you wear a dark colored suit, but in this case, you want to go with something lighter if you can. It's just simply not going to overpower your lighter colored complexion. Now, look at that pocket square there. That, again, works very well with the tie, with the hat. He's got the dot pattern right in there, and then jewelry. So he is wearing a pin collar with it looks like a bar going in and around there. Definitely something that's a bit extravagant, something that is going to draw attention. On his hand, we also see a variety of rings. This is a man, again, that is portraying, basically he's sending a signal of power and of strength. Now let me address the elephant in the room, and that is this movie was from the 1920s, and what Amitabh is wearing in this movie is definitely flamboyant, is something that would, people would look at you and say, okay, this guy's dressing like he's from the 1920s. What's going on here? I'm not saying you have to imitate everything in this look. Instead, I'm wanting you to imitate his ability to be the best dressed man in the room when he's around other best dressed men, and not being afraid to bring in a bit of flamboyance, bring in a bit of confidence, bring in something that is your unique style to whatever you decide to wear. Hollywood look number 3 that you can steal, Frank Bullitt from the movie Bullitt, played by Steve McQueen. What I love about Steve McQueen is that this is a guy that oftentimes chose his own wardrobe. What we're going to see here in this movie is clothing that's durable, clothing that looks good, is very classic, but actually can be worn in chase scenes, can be worn in fights. So what makes the look in Bullitt really works? So Frank, what he does is he oftentimes goes for a monochromatic look. We're going to see very dark colored tops with dark colored bottoms, and then if he's going to bring in any type of color, it's usually going to be in the jacket. So let's look at those jackets. He loves herringbone. Notice first the soft shoulders. Soft shoulders I think are great because they're very functional. They give you a little bit more freedom of movement. Now notice the buttoning. We've got the 3-2, which is basically it's a 3-button front, but only 2 buttons are actually made to be buttoned. As you guys know with buttoning rules, you're only going to button the middle one, never button the bottom. Now, when we look at that turtleneck, or you could go with a roll neck sweater, up to you. You can go with a black, midnight blue. The fit is key on any sweater. Now let's go over and let's look at his pants. So we're going to go with a charcoal slim fit corduroy, but corduroy I think is great for the fall, for the spring, for the winter. Now when it comes to the footwear, let's go for boots. Now you can have a little bit of fun. I've talked about going maybe with a suede chukka or something like that, or you can just go for a laced up boot, but you want something that's going to give you support, that's going to look stylish, and is going to be incredibly functional. Now let's talk about bringing in some color. So first off, let's look at an overcoat. Maybe bring in a camel overcoat, classic right here. Now sunglasses, get a great looking pair and maybe bring in a wide variety of different colors. I think sunglasses are something that so many men should own more of, and they just look great when you've got the right pair for your face. Next up, we've got the movie Shaft, where Samuel L. Jackson plays John Shaft. Now, John Shaft is a man who's not afraid to take matters into his own hands. In fact, throughout this movie, we see a lot of action, and he's wearing clothing very similar to Bullitt that is going to be action-oriented. But what we see here is a great use of leather. So let's break out some of Shaft's jackets and let's talk about what they mean. So first off, we've got the classic Shaft jacket, and this is a 3/4 length jacket with a raw cut edges and a wool collar. Now, if Shaft wants to be approachable, because he can come off as an intimidating guy, this is when he's going to wear a full length suede jacket. As we've talked about before, suede has that texture to it. It's going to bring in the ladies. It's going to make people feel a little bit more comfortable around you. And when you act and you behave like Shaft, sometimes you need that extra clothing to be able to send that signal. Now we've got the no nonsense Shaft jacket, and this is when he's going to wear his leather blazer. This is when he's going in, and if you see Shaft wearing this, you probably just want to get out of his way, or he's about to throw you through a window. Now almost all the clothing we see on John Shaft is going to be black. He loves this color, and for good reason. Black is a signal of not only formality, but also intimidation. When people see people in the color black, they assume that they're going to be more aggressive, that they are stronger. Now, when it comes to pants, I think Shaft did wear leather pants. I'm not going to recommend that unless you're a rock star or you are Shaft. But in this case, I think for a lot of you guys, you can go maybe with something that's going to have a wool, maybe go with a cotton, go for a gray. I love the color gray because it works very well with black. Next up, let's talk about what Shaft is wearing on his torso. He loves sweaters. So we're looking at dark colored sweaters in black, in charcoal gray, in navy. Now, you don't have to stick with those. You can also maybe look at a maroon. You can look at a dark green. You could also go with a dark purple. I think those are going to be great. Make sure that you get the best sweater that you can afford. You want to be looking at wools, at cashmeres. Focus in on fit. Make sure anything you buy fits your torso. Next up, let's talk about grooming. So what do we notice about Shaft's hair? He doesn't have any on his head. He's got a shaved head. And I've talked about shaved heads in the past, how they are perceived as stronger, as more dominant, and as more aggressive. All this kind of plays in with the color that we just talked about of his clothing, but Shaft is wanting to send a signal of intimidation. But thinning hair and being perceived as having thinning hair makes you look weaker. It's better to shave that stuff off or, go see a doctor, see what they can do about, bringing that hair back. At the end of the day, gentlemen, don't be afraid of shaving your head, especially if you want to look aggressive and stronger. Now let's talk about his facial hair. What do we see? The Balbo, again, we saw this on Tony Stark, we see this on Bruce Wayne, and now we're seeing this on Shaft. So apparently there is some trend going on. Maybe all these characters are talking with each other. I don't know. Next up, we've got Dicky Greenleaf in the movie The Talented Mr. Ripley, played by Jude Law. So what do we notice about this character when we first see him? There's just something about this guy that screams success. What do we notice immediately about his style? One is how it's just the nonchalance, just how he is able to maintain and look sharp without seeming to do anything. But why does that happen? So let's specifically look overall at his clothing. It's very casual, but the fit is immaculate. So let's look at the polos. Let's look at the shirts. He is going for slim fit shirts that work with his body types. You notice the sleeve length is right. The length of the shirt is perfect when he wears it untucked. The collar is right in and perfect for his face. It's not oversized. So many people, again, when they're going for casual wear, they go sloppy. Next up, we notice that Dicky goes with a lot of light cream colors. He goes for warmer tones that are going to work well with his complexion. Now, he has a great tan in this movie, but what we notice is that this is a guy with not a lot of high contrast. He doesn't have really dark colored hair. He doesn't have light, especially light colored skin. He wants to go for colors that are going to be more muted, are going to work with him. But when he does wear a blazer, he looks great in the blazer. The blazer has a very nautical theme. Now, this works for the setting of the movie. They're in Italy. They're close to the water. This is something that we just feel, but he's not going for a full suit. Notice that he went with the lighter colored trousers. In fact, everything that he's wearing with the blazers is really very casual. From the striped tie, now this isn't a normal regimental striped tie with a stark contrast. What we see are lighter colors again throughout the shirt. We see it in the tie. Let's look at the cufflinks. Small, but a very important detail. So we see the gold signet ring, we see the expensive watches, we see the blazer up on top, and then we get down to his feet, and what do we see? He's wearing boat shoes without socks. Now, this is where I think the outfit gets a little bit more complicated and where a lot of guys are going to be intimidated because all of a sudden they realize, wow, I'm wearing a jacket, but I'm not wearing socks, and I'm wearing a very casual shoe. How do I pull this off? And this is the strength of this character, is that he just is going through life. He's very confident in who he is, what he's going to get out of it, and it's something that he has practiced wearing this clothing so many times that he can put it together in unique combinations. And that's what I want you to take from Dicky Greenleaf. You can start to experiment. You can start to mix and match things that some people would say shouldn't go together, but you have the confidence, you have the ability to make it happen. All right, guys, now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments which of these looks was your favorite. What look did I miss? What actor and what movie should have been in this video? Let me know down in the description. And guys, there's a support article that goes with this video in which I go into a lot more detail in each of the looks I talked about. In addition, I've got 2 other looks with other actors I didn't even talk about in this video. Again, I'm going to link to it down in the description. And when you're down there, check out as well the Dollar Shave Club. Guys, I've talked about them, a great company, one that I'm proud to support because you guys have reached out to me in San Antonio. I love the convenience, the fact that these razors are delivered right to me. So thank you for trying them out, guys. They're a good company. I highly support them. I'm going to put that link down in the description. That's it, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.